G'day gang. Fantastic Saturday, and I think you wouldn't think it was autumn. You'd think it was spring. Beautiful days. So we've got a flywheel machine, with a new clutch, rear seal. The funny thing that passed through my mind when I was pulling this engine out, and I think it was Lance made a comment, couldn't you cut back that plate? Couldn't you cut that back sort of like that? And that way, in the future, you could get it in and out more easily. And I had mentioned that, yeah, I thought about that when I was looking at it, like if that was only not there. And so we're going to make it not there. I'm going to put it that way. I can put all this, as you can see, I've got this back in the hole. I can put the engine in without and leave the axle in. So I'm going to go and cut that bit off now. Then I'll come probably clean up inside the bell housing a bit, put the new bearing on it, and we'll go on from there. We'll see if we can pick this fella out pretty easy. Screwdriver, ball carrier. Come on, out you come. Find a better screwdriver than that. Try this bloke, see how she goes. There she comes. The seal itself is actually quite good. If you have a look at, there's not a lot of oil in the yard. Let's try this. There we go. So we're looking for the amount of oil that's down inside of here. That was the top, remember? And if you have a look, there's not really too much oil in there at all. Would have got away with that, but we have a new one. So why not? I can't tell you if that's a genuine. Can't tell you if that's a genuine or not. I'll find myself a hammer, hang on. That's the only bloke I can find here at the moment. I'll get a bit of oil on there, hold up. You don't want to put seals in when they're dry, because they'll get hot from friction and burn up. Here we go. We've been with the hammer today. I hammered in about 300 nails. Fixing the back fence yesterday. So I thought I'd like to find something to punch. Do just fine. There we go. That's in. Look. Talk to spec. I'll pop this in now. I've got a 27mm socket here. Okay, whop it. Just like that. All cleaned up. We get a, we're lucky nowadays, we get a clutch aligning tool. You know the ones. Back in the day, we had things like a rod, interchangeable ends, different sizes, and a taper, no spline, just a taper. And you would use that to line your clutch up. So that's in the back of the engine, yeah. Of course, if you didn't have one of those, you have to come up with some other method. That's a method I use pretty much all the time. Especially on the engines, front wheel drive engines, transmissions that don't use a pilot bearing. So what's the good is that if there's nothing for it to, line up into? So you've got to go another method. I'll just tighten these things up here, and I'll show you what I do, and then we'll check it with the that thing. So the clutch here is just held in really snugly by every second bolt. I can move this around. As I said before, you would normally use this. Put it in there, you'd find the hole, bam, tighten your bolts up and you're done. Well, I normally just eye gauge each way that way, eye gauge each way that way. Tighten that up. Let's see if our tool goes in. Oh, like a glove. That's what you're going to do if you haven't got one. If you haven't got one of those things, it's a good size Phillips every time. Okay. Wash off, bit of a spray down with some degreaser. Before we put the new bearing on. Sorry Sandy. Paulie said he promised he'll wash it up. Clean up the mess I made. promise you said that. Just so handy is the gurney on the wall. Let that sit for a bit. I might stand you guys back somewhat and come back to you when I've done that. You know, if I had an apprentice, this is where he would come in. Put all that up. Put the new bearing on. And just it out here. We'll bin that. Just a bit, yeah, new one. Walk in. There we go. Lock that in. Bang that back in with the correct torque spec. Right. Here we go. Now. Comes with a little kit. Just wipe this off first. By the way, I had checked to see if the spline size was the same, and it is. But this grease they give you, they usually give that sort of pinky stuff. I'm just going to put a little bit of this greaser in here. Help the clutch plate slide up and down on that spine a bit. Okay. Now see if I can pick up the engine and put it back in the hole. Should probably record this. Could be funny if it all goes fucking backwards. Mention how nice and easy the engine went around. Yeah? Very nice and easy. Can't have been all that last time. Give me a minute. There we go, that's a bit better. is a sketchy bit. Just for a little bit of safety. Bring it down like that. At least that way if it all tipples ass over. Hey, not so bad. Rusty wheels, I tell ya. Over the angle. When we're over the engine bay, I'll bring it back. Be alright there, I think. Steady. Got the smoke from that burn out. Yeah, just got to. Oh, we're in. We are in. Let's do the bell housing up. We're just about there. Next week the head'll go back on, and maybe we'll get this started up. We'll see what happens. Oh. Yeah. At least we chopped out, perfect, eh? Oh. I'll keep going with that for a bit more, do some more bolts up, and that'll be nearly about the end of it then, for today. As far as I'm going today, the head and stuff will go on next week. We'll put that together. But for now, so see you later. We'll have a look down there too at that where I cut that when I get underneath next week. Have yourself a goodie. Check you later. Have a good one. Cheers.